We all know we were going to get to this point. Hey everyone, Richard Melfan here, still continuing the Metallica discography. And today we're going to be talking about Saint Anger. Now, let's just go into back history with this album. Now, by around 2000, 2001, Metallica basically sold millions of albums worldwide and they were basically on top of their game. But then things slowly started going downhill in the band personally by January of 2001 when bassist Jason Newsted left the band because he had like issues with the other bands between his other side project Echo Brain. But then a few months later, the band actually rented out a old military base and started writing and making initial recordings for what would become Saint Anger. But at the time, they didn't have a bassist, so they had producer Bob Rock handling all the bass duties for the album. But then recording came to a halt a few months after that when James Hetfield went to rehab for drug and alcohol problems. Mainly it's alcohol, I think. I can't remember. It was also documented on the infamous documentary Some Kind of Monster, which basically showcased the band almost breaking up at that point. Yeah, but then of course, they basically plowed through it, and the end result was this hunk of shit, Saint Anger. But it was after that they got Robert Trujillo on bass, but he didn't even play on this album. He played on the next album. But, oh my god, what to talk about this album. Just the 7 deadly sins of Saint Anger. Number 1, the lyrics. Some of the lyrics are just so freaking laughable. Like, frantic tick tick tock or shoot me again, I ain't dead yet. Some of this, I feel like a freaking kid could write this. Number 2, the songs are just way too long and they drag out for way too long. Like, seriously, if some of these songs would have been a little bit shorter, it would have be okay. It wouldn't still be shit, but it wouldn't be as shitty. And it makes you want to put a brick to my skull. Number 3, and the most obvious thing, the drum sound. Like, what the fuck? Does Lars Ulrich replace this snare with like a freaking garbage can? Ugh. It feels like it drowns out the whole production basically, and same thing with the guitars. Like, there's no guitar solos at all on this album. It's like, does Kirk Hammett even play on this album? Like, what the hell, what the happened to this band? Ugh. I mean, I kind of like Load and Reload, but this is just ugh. It even takes it to a whole new level. Oh my god. And I don't even know. Like, the fifth thing is like the production. Like I said, like the drums are too loud. You can barely hear the guitars at all. Like, especially the snare is just freaking all over the place. Like, and 6 is James's voice kind of sounds like not as good as it used to be. And the 7th thing is the album cover is just very generic, very bland. Ugh. But yeah, let's just dissect this album track by track. Now the album opens up with Frantic. Now, it could have started going good, but I feel like the song pulls into like all different directions. It kind of like goes into like a spastic rhythm, and then it goes into like a slower kind of part. Ugh. And just hearing James saying frantic, tick, 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 tock, ugh, it's just so damn laughable. Then we go into Saint Anger, the title track. Now, lyrically, it could have had some potential. Well, and it, like with Frantic, but it just goes into all different directions, and it drags out way too long. And honestly, I think the radio edit is like a few minutes shorter. Honestly, I feel like that could have been better. Ugh. And the thing that really just blows my mind is the title track actually won a Grammy. Yeah, I'm serious, it did. Ugh. Some Kind of Monster. It's over 8 minutes long. Ugh. And like 2 of the minutes is just filler in there. It's just Dirty Window, which it could have been good, but I mean, the riffs are pretty good, but it's just ruined by just the drums, and you can barely hear the guitars over the freaking steely snare. Invisible Kid, which kind of has a singy songy thing to it, but it just feels like a little kid wrote it. My World's garbage, it bores me. Shoot Me Again is freaking laughable. Like, just the lyrics are just shoot me again, I get. Like, ugh, what the fuck? Sweet Amber, which kind of has a garage feel, and it could have been better, but the drums ruin it. Like, ugh. And then we go to The Unnamed Feeling, which actually is not bad. It actually works better. I mean, the snare is still there, but it's not as like annoying. And I actually think this is the only somewhat decent song on this album. And then Purify, ugh, it's just bad lyrics, and All Within My Hands, which ends this abortion, which just ends with like freaking the snare and like James saying kill, 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 which more like I would want to kill this fucking album. Now, overall, Saint Anger is like basically the one I consider the worst metal albums of all time and the worst album in Metallica's discography. I'm gonna have to agree. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering why I still have a copy of this album. Well, I mean, as I said, I got it, like, I remember I was at CD Warehouse years ago, and this album, I actually saw this album for, like, $4.99. I was like, $4.99 for one of the worst metal albums of all time? How could I pass that up? I mean, look, I don't want to destroy it. I don't want to, like shoot it with a gun or blast it with dynamite. I know it sounds stupid, and it pretty much contradicts everything I say, but I'm kind of glad I own this album, and mainly just for the collection purposes. But yeah, if I were to give this album a score, I'd probably give this like a 2.5 out of 10. Just don't bother listening to this album, guys. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you on the next review, and it will get better, I promise you. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you on the next review. Keep it metal.